everyone, I am Jenny DeRocher. I work as an associate librarian in the archives department of the La Crosse Public Library. I am here today to have the next video in our Hidden Treasures series about the Footsteps of La Crosse walking tours. We're going to have 4 walking tours this May on Tuesdays at 6:30 to 8 p.m. And I'm going to give you a little snapshot of what you could see on those tours. So today we're going to talk about Dr. Frank Heschler. We're going to talk about his house and then his impact on the downtown area of La Crosse. So Dr. Frank Heschler, who lived from 1875 through 1969, lived here in this house. He was a druggist and real estate developer. He was a big picture, creative thinker, and he had a lot of big visions for the future of La Crosse. He created a modern metropolitan shopping district in the stretch along Fifth Avenue between Main and King Streets. And he is the one credited for changing the name of 5th Street to 5th Avenue, which he did to simulate New York's 5th Avenue. In the 1930s, Frank Heschler proposed a plan to fill in the entire marsh and create a residential neighborhood for the middle class and upper middle class families of La Crosse. He argued that by developing the area in the marsh, the city would fill in the gap between the north and south sides, which would connect these two separate parts of the city, both physically and on a neighborly level. This ambitious plan included 1,777 land lots for houses and buildings, roads, sidewalks, a sewer system, a golf course, 2 recreational lakes, and a sandy beach with beachfront houses. At the time, the marsh was considered a wasteland, a swamp, a complete waste of space, and Frank's proposal was meant to make the land a more productive use of that space. He applied for funding through the Works Progress Administration, the WPA, through FDR's New Deal, but it was denied and the project fell through after that. The Heschler House here at 117 Losey Boulevard is one of the best examples of an international style house in La Crosse. The architectural term international style refers to a minimalist approach to an architectural design developed in the 1920s in Berlin, Germany. The style consists of a simple geometric mass, usually square or rectangular, with a flat roof, a smooth exterior finish, and simple doors and windows set flush with the walls. You can see these international style themes here. The 2-story cream brick house is comprised of rectangular forms supported by a concrete and steel interior structure. The flat roof accents the simple geometric form that is highlighted by several distinctive Art Deco and Art Moderne motifs, including simplified dentils just below the cornice and simple brick belt courses wrapping around the exterior. The east facade has several cut limestone decorative elements, like scallop designs and vertical drops along the cornice and chevron, surrounding the triple casement windows on the 1st story. A sculpture of a bull is set in an octagonal medallion in the center of the 2nd story on the east wall. The bull was the Heschler family insignia, and the Heschler bull can also be seen on several buildings on 5th Avenue. The Heschler House was designed by Racine-based architect J. Mandor Matson in 1936. Heschler later hired Matson again to design his prized Exchange building at 201 to 205 5th Avenue in 1940. That's at the corner of 5th Avenue and J Street. We'll now head over to the south side of the house for a moment before heading downtown to see the Heschler buildings on 5th Avenue. One last thing to note about this house is that alterations include the replacement of windows and garage doors and removal of the Art Deco metal yard fence that was originally here. Though these changes diminish it, they do not destroy the architectural character of the house. Now, 10 years before Heschler's house was built, in 1927, Heschler began to remodel and build 4 retail buildings and a movie theater here on 5th Avenue, which were all finished in the 1950s. He got tenants such as retail giants Montgomery Ward, J.C. Penney, and Sears and Roebuck. Like his home, Heschler insisted on a modern, progressive look for his buildings. These 5th Avenue Heschler buildings constitute a compact district of early modern commercial architecture not seen anywhere else in the city. The Scenic Center here at 115 to 117 Fifth Avenue was designed in 1930. This is where J.C. Penney was located until 1980 when it moved to the Valley View Mall. So like I said before, Frank Heschler changed the name of 5th Street to 5th Avenue to simulate New York's 5th Avenue shopping district. And in an effort to get people to stay downtown all day and spend an afternoon here, he also saw the need to provide entertainment for shoppers attracted to his retail chain stores. So he hired a Minneapolis firm to design the Hollywood Theater here in the 1930s, and it was complete in 1936. The Heschler House was designed by Racine-based architect J. Mandor Matson in 1936. Heschler later hired Matson again in 1940 to design his prized Exchange building here at 201 to 205 Fifth Avenue, which is at the corner of J and Fifth Avenue. It is considered the best example of Art Moderne architecture in the city. It was built on the site of the former La Crosse Tribune building. The Exchange building features horizontal bands of aluminum-clad windows, a distinctive curved corner, and a geometrically decorated entry surmounted by the building name. Like I mentioned before, it was designed by the same architect as the Heschler House, and when it was built, it was the largest office building in downtown La Crosse. One place where you can see the Heschler Bowl is just on top of the Exchange building on the rooftop elevator housing. Frank's motto with all of his progress was "Forward La Crosse," an optimistic vision for the future of the city. The bullish legacy of Frank Heschler is represented both in his commercial buildings here in the downtown district and in his international style home on Losey Boulevard. Frank Heschler was a real influential character in the history of La Crosse. To learn more about him, you can listen to this Here story that is narrated by his nephew, Jake Heschler. It is from the oral history program at UW La Crosse. If you're interested in attending a Footsteps tour this May, go to www.footstepsoflacrosse.org to register for one of the tours. They're Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.